Hey, you. Welcome to the first episode of Bad Movie Night. I don't know, I just wanted to call it something. You guys know what teeth are, right? Everyone's got them, everyone loses them, but who's taking all of them? The Tooth Fairy. Little lore drop from me, I used to be terrified of the Tooth Fairy when I was little, so much so that I would do anything to not lose a tooth, because in my little child brain, I thought that if the Tooth Fairy saw me lose one tooth, he's gonna be like, that guy has more. I'm gonna take him from him. I feel like the Tooth Fairy as a concept is far creepier than people like to admit. Like some random creature is coming into your house in the dead of night to take your teeth from under your pillow and yeah, they pay you, but what are they using them for? Why do they want your teeth? Anyways, I started thinking about my deep-seated hatred for the Tooth Fairy while I was setting up a dentist appointment, and I started to think, do you think there are any Tooth Fairy related horror movies? Like, I know there's Tooth Fairy with The Rock, and who can forget Tooth Fairy 2 with Larry the Cable Guy, but someone somewhere had to have made a horror movie about the thing. So I went to the one place that I knew I could go, because if anywhere had a Tooth Fairy horror movie, it was Tubi. And lo and behold, there's not one, not two, but 5 Tooth Fairy horror movies on here. Also the Fairy King, but I don't think this is related. I decided, oh, this is perfect. I'll find the one that seems the weirdest. I'll go over and force Dolly to watch him with me, and, we'll talk about that one. But as I researched further into it, I started to notice something really weird. I noticed that they were all made by the same director, which got me thinking, why did they make 5 Tooth Fairy horror movies? This is a 5-part franchise. This is the same storyline. Like, I feel like I went dumpster diving and stumbled upon the Holy Grail, because what the fuck? Anyways, this video is gonna focus on the first movie, so if you want me to talk about the rest of them, like and maybe subscribe to the channel so I know that it's worth wasting my time watching these 5 movies. Alright, enough teeth pulling. Let's get into the first movie, which is Tooth Fairy. She's come to collect. We cold open on a family running from what one can only assume is the Tooth Fairy riding in on this sick-ass horse. Apparently she's a shapeshifter as well, because she pretends to be their dad for a second. I don't know, she also stops being the dad, but the voice of their dad is still there.
Matt, it's me, you know me, you've known me your whole life.
It doesn't really make any sense. Anyways, mom traps it in a room, lights the room on fire, kids start chanting some weird shit, and we get our title card. We then immediately cut to 30 years later, with what we can only assume was the oldest girl from the beginning. In walks a 20-year-old man in gray hairspray that she calls father, because this guy is clearly a 70-year-old man. Definitely. You couldn't find, one old man? This is the best they could do? I don't know. An old man is telling her she can't keep being a shut-in, right? And offering help for her to get over this. Honestly, living in the house where your mom, killed herself 30 years later, I can see why she hasn't really gotten over it. Imagine she's outside just all right, son, this is the barn, this is the horse stable, and this is the room where your grandmother lit herself on fire. Anyways, we cut to a different woman who I think is the youngest girl from the beginning. They never really gave names to the children, so I'm just kind of guessing here. They start arguing and... Mom?
Because you're an alcoholic, Mum, that's why.
What do you mean, Mom? Who the fuck are these people? I thought this was the family from the beginning. I think it's just a random family now. Okay, so apparently this is the mom, who is actually the youngest daughter from the beginning. This is her daughter, Carla. This kid, Corey, is her other daughter's kid, but the blonde one is adopted him. Cool. Okay, moving on. They start arguing about a terrible evil in the barn, and in walks Joe. They agree to go on a little walk. I hope so we can learn who Joe is. But... Anyways, Joe and Carla go to the chicken barn and start talking, and good lord, does this movie like saying random names, because now we have Craig and Lane. I don't know who any of them are, or if they're even important, but who cares? They hear a scary noise, they're gonna go investigate it. Turns out it's more random ass people. We've got Matt and Kayla now, and they just kind of leave the barn with no explanation of who they are. Is this a commune? I don't know what the fuck's going on. I guess they're the siblings of the mom from that first little clip. Just vastly different age-wise. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense, but we do get this really funny scene of this woman peeking the fuck out of her mic.
Okay, it's done, it's over, like I said, like Matt said.
We go back to Carla and Joe as they're taking a lovely stroll on the river, and we get an absolute bombshell. This guy is the father of this kid. And look, I'm no geneticist or anything, but something feels a little off about this. I don't know, never mind. Okay, the real bombshell is that the mom is fully dead, and that's why Carla has custody. And this dude is immediately trying to put the works on his dead wife's sister, which is just, come on, man. I mean, really? Anyways, they walk over to this weird-ass bum who asks for some sweets. What a sinister request. Anyways, they obviously don't give him any candy. They kick him out and he starts leaving. And as he's walking around through their barn for some reason, he starts hearing some whispers in the night. Also, this cat on set, I guess, didn't know how to navigate around the cameras because he starts freaking the fuck out. But he keeps walking down the barn and we get this terrifying shot. Candy canes! I don't know. The bum decides to open the door. He walks in and they have this weird dialogue where the tooth fairy creature asks this guy for his teeth in exchange for money. And obviously the guy accepts. Why wouldn't you accept the weird demon offering you 20 bucks for your molars? Anyway, dude sits down and they get to work. Fairy knocks all of his teeth out. I guess that's the first kill of the movie. They don't really show if he actually dies. I don't really understand what happens. They kind of just forget about him in 5 minutes, but I guess it's the first kill of the movie? I don't know.
Why haven't you told me about this, Mum? It's an eviction notice.
No, I couldn't tell by the giant fucking eviction notice stamp on the top of the paper. Anyways, the daughter keeps saying the farm is all like downtrodden and how it's all sad and evil and the mom just needs to move away, but they walk in it's a brand new barn. Like if you look at this, it's brand new. I don't know what she's talking about. After that, we cut to Joe and his son. Seriously, somebody get this guy on the Maury show.
You are not the father.
Anyways, while he and his kid are talking, we pan over and the kid just randomly says ow, and he loses the biggest tooth I've ever seen. I understand that there's like candy on his tooth and that's why he lost it, but look at how big that fake tooth is. Like they couldn't have got a real tooth. I don't know, it's not that, what the fuck? Okay, I thought I skipped back on accident, but the movie just kind of hard cuts here. Nothing really happens. The tooth fairy grabs the teeth and we go back to more dialogue. They just, I guess, couldn't figure out where to throw that in. I don't know. As the family's talking about literally nothing, the power cuts out, so they go to meet up outside with Joe. Once the gang's all together, they all start to notice that their phones aren't working either. Something ominous is afoot. Or should I say, is a tooth. Carla and Joe stumble upon the candy canes and are pretty understandably freaked out. But before they can do anything, we cut back to the kid and his mom talking about death and mortality while he's in a monkey costume, which is hell yeah, I guess. I don't know. We get some more dialogue from the mom and the daughter, and I just kind of realized the grandma is 40, right? Because she said she was 10 when the killings happened, and then this was 30 years later. She's only 40 years old. Her daughters are easily in their 30s. When the fuck did she have kids? I don't know. I don't want to think more about that. We hard cut to a prayer in the middle of their rimming room. We hard cut to a prayer in the middle of their living room for some reason with a nun. I don't know. I don't know anymore, man. Nothing's even happened to them yet, and we're like 30 minutes into the movie. Also, this movie, lighting-wise, is so dark for no reason. I don't know if it shows in the video well or if I'm just like a master editor that fixed it in post, but there's so many scenes where you just can't tell what the fuck's going on. The kid Shannon sneaks like a marshmallow or something, and we get this hard-ass shot. Literally nothing happens up here other than this shot, and we cut to Matt, and his dead wife is here now. I seriously have no idea what's happening. Please remember that this movie is about a tooth fairy. It's called Tooth Fairy, not Matt and his dead wife. It's Wait, okay, no, I jumped the gun a little bit. The tooth fairy is here. That nun upstairs is actually the tooth fairy, and she steals the girl's teeth with this sudden transition to the worst Party City looking mask I've ever seen. Please, if you're gonna make a horror movie about a creature, put any of your budget into the costume. Please, just even 20 more bucks could have made this look better. Anyways, Shannon is presumed dead because all her teeth are gone, because I guess that kills people now. And Dr. Phil's talking to his dead wife, and she says, "You didn't bury me deep enough," and then vanishes? I don't fucking know, man. We go back to the kid, and hey, did anyone else notice that they put the mixed race kid in a monkey costume? The blonde lady goes downstairs and whoa. Hey. Anyways, she walks into the kitchen and starts staring at a website that's totally not Google Slides, and Big Man comes in and puts the moves on her. We get some more lame-ass dialogue no one cares about, and then they get to fucking. Also, this little scene is just so funny. I don't know why they did it like this, but he's just like, yeah, like that. Anyways, Joe busts in her in like 3 pumps, and Anyways, Joe busted her like 3 pumps, and she immediately turns around and goes, "Joe, that didn't mean shit, man, okay? She's like literally the second he busts, she's like, nah, that meant nothing. Oh, also, as he finishes, the power's back, so I guess Joe is like a wizard. I don't know. Next morning comes, and they spend a solid 3 minutes just making sly comments at each other about how they were fucking last night. Further in their 3 minutes, the mom reveals that she watched them ham bone in the kitchen, and they start beefing and reveal that, wait for it, Joe, this guy, accidentally got her sister pregnant because he thought her sister was her. Is this a fucking Tooth Fairy horror movie, or am I watching a shitty British soap opera? Because why is this even a plot point? I'm so confused. Corey, the little kid, comes in and the grandma's like, oh, go get my jacket so you don't have to listen to your dad talk about how he didn't mean to have you. Anyways, while he's exploring, the grandma lore drops to Joe and Carla about Tooth, which is what they call the Tooth Fairy demon thing. That's the actual name that they give it to him. They only refer to it as Tooth. I don't know. They could have thought of a cooler name. Like Nosferatu. Thank you. I'll be here. We find out Mom's grandmother, Ivy, made a pact with this tooth demon, asking for riches, and in return she would give them the head of her firstborn. Later in the night, Joe and Carla discuss and agree the mom is probably crazy, but they should still help her just in case, because, you know, like 3 of their family members are dead at this point now. We go back to the Totally Not a slideshow, and we get this self-help looking ass guy talking about the Tooth Fairy, and we learn that this creature needs sugar instead of salt to keep it at bay, because, get it? Tooth Fairy, sugar rots your teeth. If you don't have teeth, the Tooth Fairy's not gonna I don't know. This guy looks like he's gonna tell me about Bitcoin. Carla looks down and finds a weird USB stick, plugs it in, and gets a video of her now dead sister Lane, who is totally not her with a different hairstyle, kind of like Megan Fox in Subservience. She says she misses the family and somehow correctly guesses that Corey is 9. I don't know how she would know this. I guess she just guessed when they would find the videotape. I don't know. We get more info from her, and 99% of this video has literally 0 plot significance. Just as she finishes it, Will bursts into the house, ranting about his dead daughter or whatever. I don't know. Boring. He blames the mom, and for some reason everyone is blaming her as if she wasn't also a 10-year-old girl running away from this demon. I don't know. Almost an hour into the movie, we finally go to the third family, because there's a third one, of this deadbeat dad and the girl from the beginning. Jacob, the little boy, goes to his room, and his cousin Shannon is sitting there. Oh my god, she's alive. She's not alive. Goodbye, Jacob. She starts immediately getting weird with him. She's like, hey, Jacob, can you smile for me? And she offers a tooth for a kiss. I don't know if she means like a Hershey's kiss or like an actual kiss, but obviously he says no because that's his damn cousin. So she takes out these little pliers and we can assume that he's dead now. While all this is happening, the parents are too busy going skiing. As they're doing this, they start to hear little Augustus screaming from his bedroom. Dad walks in and both the kids are laughing and wait a minute. Okay, I thought she was a shapeshifter, but I guess not, because she's there and the kids are there. So either she can conjure like mirages, or she just like recruited the kids. I don't know. They never explain this. But anyways, we cut back to female Gary Busey. Because of the cup. She gets up and checks to find centipedes on him for some reason. Again, I thought this was the Tooth Fairy, not just generic evil creature number 3. Technically, she's a she-witch. They tell us that in the backstory section, but her name is Tooth, for God's sake. The movie's called Tooth Fairy. Anyways, Tooth goes to fucking Pound Town on her and holy fuck, floods her mouth with like acid. That was actually a surprisingly gory kill for a movie like this, but whatever. We cut away to the main 3 as they pull up to Layla's house. Layla is the one that just died, in case you don't remember the 20 different names that they've thrown at us. Anyways, Mom calls Layla only to be met with a shot of the creature who just has normal ass hands holding the phone. And like, I know it's a little thing, but still it just really looks like a murderer that bought a Party City mask. Will goes inside and okay. Anyways, they go in and the demon is just standing there with the kids, and Carla goes, we need to trick it into going outside, as if the demon isn't standing 5 feet away from her. Like, she's right there. I think she can hear you, man. They keep talking and the 2 women just kind of peace out for some reason. They don't really say anything. They just kind of walk out. And Layla sneaks behind Will and snaps the shit out of his neck. So I guess he's dead. I don't know. How long is this fucking movie? We hard cut to Corey talking about his own mortality again, and Carla comes in and says, Matt's dead. We're not strong enough, which I don't know if anybody here is gonna get this, but all that reminded me of is that one Reddit post of that lady that's like, do not astral project and try to fight Allah. We're not strong enough. We can't do it. I don't know why that reminded me of it, but that just made me think about it for a second. Anyways, we get a gear up sequence where they just start gathering a bunch of fucking candy, and I've just now realized Layla wasn't hit with acid. It was a bottle of soda. Anyways, Joe and Carla have their own little moment in the barn.
I always knew your family would be the death for me!
And then we get a final kiss before the final fight, just in case they don't make it. We get a fake out with the grandfather coming in instead of the fucking demon. Also, good God, man, just hire an old man. There is no chance in hell you can convince me that this guy is this girl's father. I do have to say, I really like the father though. The way he's like walking around, it's just so funny to me. Like they couldn't have found one old man. I don't know. The demon suddenly appears, but it's okay because Corey pulls out the squirt gun and, as the kids say, ups the switchy on her. The soda obviously hurts her because, of course, a squirt gun of soda would hurt the demon. But she gets up, pulls out a toothbrush shank like this is fucking prison, and just absolutely shanks the grandfather.
Police steady watching me. Every day they clocking me.
Which, I know this is another little thing, but this is the clearest blood tube I have ever seen in a horror movie. Anyways, Carla makes her way outside to find Dad dead in the funniest little death pose ever. It kind of looks like Golden Freddy here. But then we cut over to the rest of them who have been tied up for some reason. They're just all in the candy cane room. Like, if her motive is teeth and just stealing people's teeth, why did she kidnap these people? Anyways, she eventually does pull out her tools and begins to go to work on the kid. But before anything happens to the kid, we cut back to Carla, who finds some random ass little girl. Carla follows her for a while, but then she eventually leads Carla into a floss attack. We get this really hectic fight with this Floss and Carla against this 7-year-old little girl, but Carla barely escapes by shining a flashlight in the little girl's face. Okay. Clara grabs some matches and fuel and tries to stick up the demon with her little squirt gun. Gets absolutely rocked by the demon with a hammer. I love that in this movie, they don't have like these pauses where the demon's like, oh God, you got me. She just goes to fucking town on people. It's kind of funny. Luckily though, Joe picks it up and starts hitting her with the 7-Up spray. I guess she's like Superman and this is her kryptonite. I don't know. But anyways, they do that and then they light the fucker on fire. We get this lame ass final monologue about the Tooth Fairy being a bad fairy, and the mom lights the barn ablaze, right, with her inside of it. I'll explain a little bit more of why she did that in a second, but Clara comes back the next morning and it's still on fire, I think. I don't know, man. She lines it with sugar and the movie ends. That was something. Keep in mind, there are 4 more movies in this franchise. Why? Also, the mom said you either kill the fairy and yourself or you become her. Which, whatever, if that's how they want to make the character work, whatever. But at the beginning of the movie, her mom killed herself and the fairy, so why is there still a fairy? Is there going to be another one in that barn in 10 years? I feel like they didn't really explain that at all. I don't know why I'm analyzing this movie. It could have been better if they just like focused on the story and cut the 90 minutes of British soap opera that they have in the movie for some reason. I don't know, I've noticed these shitty Tubi movies always end up being British. They never spend any money on the costuming, and most of it is a soap opera, which, you know, is fine. It was whatever as like a drama show, but when I click on Tooth Fairy She Comes to Collect, I'm looking for a tooth fairy that murders people, not a soap about Clara and Joe and their struggles with life and how he knocked up her sister. But anyways, that's all the time I have for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you liked this. Let me know if you want me to suffer through the other 4, because unfortunately I will if enough people want me to. Anyways, my name is Prisk. This is Reggie. Don't look at him. And I'll see you in another video. Woo!